Why, hello there everyone. I'm the Kumo Sensei, and welcome to another live stream. And this isn't my usual attire, and I've just gotten back from work. And you can tell I'm super exhausted, but hope you guys don't mind it. As you can see, I'm just wearing my hoodie, and my hair's a bit of a wreck. I just took a shower, by the way, so just don't mind me, everybody. I didn't really plan out this live stream. It's more so of just me chilling here for tonight. And yeah, it's been a very long time since my last live stream, everyone. So I don't know how long I'll be up for tonight. But really, just anything goes, and I've just gotten back from work. So I'm kind of exhausted, but not super exhausted. Just enough to just chill and chat. Which is why I made this late night stream. No plans, just chilling. So anything goes. If you want to talk about anything, then by all means feel free to discuss about it here. This is what my live streams are for. And I'm glad to be live streaming again because I do want to talk about things more often, I guess, to you viewers. Because it seems like I've gotten a lot of questions. Yeah, John, I apologize. It's been a very long time since I last live streamed. But I do, but John, I am working on a actual anime video. It is in the works, and it's my 4K subscriber special video discussing about you know, hentai and stuff, like I promised. And thank you, Mr. Kiwi. I'll keep on going. But how was my Christmas? My Christmas was okay. It was pretty decent. Family, it wasn't crazy. It was a very simple but very calming Christmas, honestly. I did go on a date a little bit after Christmas. It was a fine date, but let's just say we were better off as friends and not really compatible as like a couple, which was kind of upsetting but understandable. I'm still single, and I am looking for a partner in hopes of marriage in the future, you know? It was a pretty interesting experience, as I would say. I have gone on a couple, actually I haven't mentioned it here on video, stream, or on Discord, but I have gone on a few dates already, and I don't want to say they were terrible, but it's more so of like, I think it's better if I just leave it as like friends, you know, just because it feels better that way. I haven't found the partner that I'm looking for. I think the first thing that I would like to do, John, and whoever's watching this, is to find somebody who has something in common with me, you know, something in common. Whether it's anime, spiders, or anything in general, something has to click, if you understand what I'm saying. And that's currently what I'm looking for in terms of trying to find a partner. Easier said than done, honestly, because, you know, you and me, John, we're in our 20s, and it's not like we're dating in our early 20s or like how we did in our teens, I guess. If you ever been on a date before, it is much more different now than it was back then. As an adult, you kind of had to balance life and work, which is more difficult compared to when you were a teenager. And I know there was school and then dating, but you had more free time. Now I don't really have the leisure to do so. So I am looking for a partner that like not only likes anime, but also understand that like, you know, we're working adults. But I'm still looking for a partner. And like I stated, I am going out to, you know, trying to find a partner instead of just making like a bunch of desperation moves and whatnot on like Discord or something, begging for somebody to come for me. I'm not that desperate, even though I am like trying my best to look for that partner. I don't know if I'll find them on my YouTube channel here or if I'll meet them in person, but I am going the extra mile though. I don't want to just, you know, stay on the internet and hope for a girlfriend. That doesn't work like that. Oh no, you're fine, John. Besides, you're my protege. You're basically the next anime historian. And and I will talk a little bit about anime because like that's what I always do whenever I'm live on stream. I also talk about what animes I'm watching and things like that. And somebody did actually people were starting to doubt whether I was still in shape or not. So I posted that video called Kumo Sensei is still in shape because I just want people to understand that I'm not training as much as I used to now. I'm trying to slow down actually because one reason why I want to slow down everybody is because I'm slowly stepping away from stage acting. Basically, it's a soft retirement. So I want everybody to understand that. And because of that, I don't necessarily have to diet as hard, you know, because dieting has calmed down a bit. So I do have a bit more freedom in terms of dieting now. So training wise, I'm still going to be keeping it simple though. Hello there, Shadow. It's been a while for me and you. But that's currently what I'm going to be doing, everybody. So right now, I'm just trying to figure out how I want to adjust my training now because I have not quit. I don't want to say I quit stage acting, but I stepped back on it a lot. And everybody understands that. But I will still be doing roles every now and then for roles that I like or roles for characters that I think are interesting. It doesn't have to be a big play or a big stage production, just one that I like. And yeah, but that's currently the goal, which is why I guess some people thought that since I'm backing away from stage acting, I guess people also unanimously think that I'm also going to quit from training. No, I'm still in shape, everybody. And I think people need to understand this. Once you reach a certain physique, really, if you want to maintain it, not like get any bigger, but just maintain that physique, maintaining it will usually come down to your dieting. So for me, in my stage acting job and whatnot, and dance instructing as well, my physique doesn't require me to be muscular. So I don't need to get bigger. I just need to maintain my physique. So a lot of people are wondering, how come I don't train heavy? And really, it's because I already have a physique that I like. So really, you kind of understand that it's more of dieting and less of training once you reach a certain physique that you like, because you're just maintaining it at that point. I'm not trying to grow bigger. And I want people to understand that. So really 60 to 70, maybe even 80% of what I do revolves around dieting. And then the rest of it revolves, training and sleeping. It's not like I'm trying to do progressive overload to actually constantly grow my physique, because then it will be different. It will be less dieting, more training, but since I'm just maintaining everybody, really, it's very simple. And it's funny because a lot of people may not understand that, but really, you'll get there though. But man, I do plan on making more anime essay videos. So I'm actually I do have a couple of videos I want to try out. Hello there, D7. Oh yeah. I'm gonna say it's gonna take a while to make those essay videos, but I will make them. So I do want to try out some short essay videos around 4 to 5 minutes long. I don't want to make them super long because then it'll take too long to edit. But that's currently what I'm trying to do. So one, without a doubt, is going to be that that 4,000 subscriber video, as I promised a very long time ago. And then another one I would actually do that I wanted to actually talk about is not actually an anime essay video, but more of like a video I just want to make. And then I'm also currently in the process of recording my self-commentary film, I guess, where I talk about myself. And I will be transparent about that video, actually. Like, I'm just going to lay it out, so that way you can understand why I am the way I am. So I think a lot of people will find some enjoyment out of that for those who are interested in knowing more about me. But I'm not going to lie though, I do want to find a date. A partner, actually. So it's strange to say that, but one of my goals is to find my soulmate. I don't know how, where, or whatnot. Believe it or not, I did go to an anime cosplay event. It's not like it's not a big expo or anything. It's more so of a like a small group get together sort of thing event. I showed up, but I was not really a big fan of this event, quote unquote. There was a few cosplayers. It was nice, but everybody was drinking, and some people were smoking, and that's not really me. I am not a smoker or a drinker. Everyone, for those who want to know, I don't smoke. I don't drink. I stay healthy, and I'm kind of, to be honest, I'm kind of introverted at heart, so it makes it kind of harder for me to find a partner in comparison to most people. And that's pretty strange, isn't it, to actually say that? Even though I'm a stage actor and I can perform in front of people and teach in front of people, in terms of like my social life, I like to be I'm very soft-spoken, which is kind of a bad thing in a way, but I just want to be myself. So yeah, dating, that's one thing I want to do. Maybe if I keep streaming, maybe one day some person would just stop by and just give me a chance. No. That would be so nice and so funny, but I don't think that person exists. But man, if I actually like that a lot. There is nothing I love more in a woman than one that has like the courage to just confess, like how they do in anime. That is just so beautiful. I actually will pretty much always say yes to any woman that approaches me first to ask me out. I am the guy that will give you credit for trying. You don't have to be pretty, nor do you have to be skinny. You just have to have the courage to approach me. And trust me, I am not an easy person to approach. Literally. It is it's pretty surprising. You'll be surprised at how some people approach me at work. Especially in my part-time grocery store job. I have a funny story to tell you, man, about that. I was working one day at the grocery store, and some high schooler kid approaches me, and she has like dyed blue hair. Like her hair is dyed blue, like sky blue color. And she's like, "Excuse me, how old are you?" And I said, "I'm sorry, I'm 24. And when I said that, she literally ran away. Her and her best friend just ran out the store, and I never saw them again. And another time, some woman did actually was interested, trying to ask for my number, but I am not. I could just look at her and know she wasn't my type. She's just not that type for me. I'm sorry. But I am looking for a partner though. But I'm super excited because I don't know. Especially if that one person has the courage to come up to me. That is already huge props. But I do want to talk about what anime essay videos I want to make too, for those who are interested or curious. So my 4K sub is going to happen. One that isn't anime related. It's not anime related at all, but it's just one I want to do. And then maybe I'll do a romance essay video, a short one that I want to talk about. And then probably a fruits baskets video at some point. I think fruits baskets would be a good topic to talk about. And then just keep it short. I don't want to make super long essay videos. Maybe the longest will be around 5 to 10 minutes, but keeping it short is where I want to start. And then eventually I want to start talking about other stuff outside of anime. So like things here and there. It's really just a bunch of concepts, but I really want to make content I want to make. So I don't really care about the algorithm. I never had, by the way. And this actually does tie into one of the reasons why I decided to actually live stream today. And to you who are watching, I don't know why it is, but a lot of people keep asking me, what is my advice to small YouTube creators or those who are growing? And I've already answered this question so many times already in the past, but I guess new people keep coming in. And I hate to say it, there are only two. There's basically only two ways to actually grow at this point, or maybe three actually. Luck. Okay, there's luck, there's consistency, and then there is trending content, quote unquote, whatever trending content is. And really that's the only way to actually grow on YouTube. If I had to put it in some format or whatever. You need to be consistent for sure, and you need to post really good content if you want to grow fast, but there's no shortcut on YouTube at all. Some people just get luckier than others, if I'm being completely honest. And I don't want to discourage people. I just think you should just have fun while you're doing it and then just let it grow naturally. But it's kind of strange because it's been 9 years now since I started making content on YouTube. I started in 2016, by the way. Now it's 2025, so technically it's 9 years now since I started making content. But I'm one of those people that have tried everything on YouTube. From trending content, meme shit posting or whatever. I've tried it all. And honestly, the sad truth is that, like, no matter how, I think the best way to put it is this: YouTube is kind of like a change in seasons. The seasons are constantly changing, and you kind of have to adapt to your content. You gotta you either gotta change it up or elevate it if you want to stay relevant. Because if not, you'll just fade out to existence. There's a lot of YouTubers I follow now who are basically inactive. Their YouTube channel is dead, where there's literally no views, or they basically just moved on. Some examples is Vanta J, Otaku Gamer 97 or Otaku Haven 97 or 72, I don't remember. Hi, I'm Twit. I can name a bunch of YouTubers that I've watched in the past around 2014 to 2015 who are basically either no longer active or are basically irrelevant now. And I don't say this to discourage people, but I just want people to understand that, like, our relevance is only here for some time. Whatever happens, I know you'll make it big, bro. I never just made. I'm gonna tell you, I do not have any intentions of becoming a big YouTuber at all. I just want to enjoy and express myself on this channel. Thank you, Tarbs. Appreciate that. Yeah, motivation is one thing, but dedication is another, I'll tell you that. Or discipline, that is. A lot of people... So, let us jump to another topic real quick about motivation and dedication and whatnot. People think that I'm always motivated, but the right term for me that describes me is disciplined. I'm a very disciplined person, but it's really just because I've always been consistent, because I've always wanted to chase after what I want, and I was willing to put in the time. It's not easy nowadays. As a matter of fact, I would say it's even harder to actually be disciplined because of how fast, like, everything's evolving around us, not just on the internet but around the world. But I started, oh man, consistency is something a lot of people will lack, and it's kind of sad, honestly. But I believe that people do have motivation. Everyone has it. But the problem is that motivation is very limited. It will burn out. So you kind of need to step away from motivation and start focusing on discipline. Because discipline is the key to actually staying consistent. Even though I put motivation on my push-up video titles, is really just because I'm disciplined to where I can do it. And it just helps me stay on track on a daily basis, even when I'm sick, injured, or not doing well mentally, you know. It really just helps me stay disciplined. I wouldn't say it helps me stay motivated, except for sometimes. There are times where it does help, me stay motivated. Sorry about my English. It's getting twisted with the other Asian languages of my tongue, so don't mind that. And not to mention, I'm super tired, but I've just gotten back from work, so cut me some slack, everybody. But yeah, slow day it is. But I just really want to chill with everybody and just talk, you know. I still do watch anime. I still will make anime videos, but I just need to figure out what I want to do, you know. And I am still auditioning for voice acting roles and things like that. But I don't want to make promises that I'll get a role just yet. We just kind of had to wait and see which roles stick and which one doesn't. I could easily just audition for a bunch of roles, but I want to pick roles that I like and not be desperate. So there's a lot of open roles that I could easily just jump into and send an audition in for. But I'm super picky because I really just want to do things I like. Even when I was a stage actor, when it came to roles that I actually like, those are the only ones I would go for. I could easily play this character or that character, but really it's better to be more wise of what you want than to show desperation. Desperation is not a good look for any auditioning, quote unquote, especially for any characters you want to do. But this is just my advice though, which is why I'm taking it slow for voice acting. And I think I've stated this before, but I will say this again. I do want to actually start another business, which is strange to say. It's strange that I'm saying that, but I do want to start another business. So I don't really know what business I want to do just yet. I do own my Tarantula business, which is pretty fun at times, but also kind of hectic. But I also do want to start another business. So I'm thinking about starting to save money again within the next 2 to 3 months, and then just save up to maybe a couple to a few $1,000s, and then start a new business or something else. I don't know what business I want to jump into, but I do get that feeling that I want to start a business again, another business that is. So that'll be a fun venture to make, because I don't want to say I want to make more money, but I just want to do more, you know. Owning a business is very fun, but also very annoying at times in terms of time consumption and things like that. But I'm so ready, everybody. I'm gonna enjoy this process. Just keep going. That's really all I gotta say. Some days you step back, but you just gotta keep on going. And I hope everybody, I don't know, supports this decision, I guess? I don't know. I really wouldn't care less because it's something I want to do, so I don't really need other people's validation for me to do something, you know? But that's just me, though, personally. But I'm so happy to be streaming today because I'm not gonna lie, I actually missed streaming a lot. But what happened was that I got caught up with way more than what I was expecting. Not to mention, business was pretty hectic because it was the winter time, so that kind of put a dent into my business wise and things like that. Excuse myself. But one day I will actually have enough free time to go back a little bit. I'll support you no matter what, bro. It's fine. It's fine, just made. I don't... See, this is the strangest thing to say. I know people want to have loyal supporters and like subscribers to stay around for a long time. But I will say this to you and to everybody who's watching. It does not hurt my feelings if you decide to unsubscribe or leave. Because I feel like a lot of YouTubers nowadays, or a lot of streamers, you know, and content creators are too obligated. You know, so we shouldn't really ask for our subscribers to always help us to stay around and be the #1 fan. I feel like we should all have the right to choose whether we want to stay, leave, subscribe, or unsubscribe. And I don't say that to be like some humble guy, but it's just my honest opinion though. I personally see it as if like, if you decide to leave this channel, that's great. Because it really means that like you don't need my motivation, you know? You're already more capable than what you think you are. So I don't see it as a bad thing, but I know that other YouTubers may just get intimidated or quit whenever they see the subscribers go down, the views go down, the likes go down. But I'm just a guy who just enjoys what he posts and who's just trying to make it in this world. I'm not trying to be like the YouTuber who's trying to make it or the person who's trying to make it big, you know? Even though some people do think that though, you just happen to have found me. Just put it that way. So Tarbs. So I only own one business. The only business I own right now is my Tarantula business, Laxo Legacy LLC. So that business revolves around my spider work behind me that you usually see in my push-up videos. And I sell, breed, and work with tarantulas and spiders. So that's my business that I own. But yeah, I don't want to talk about my career paths because you already know about them, such as dance instructing, stage acting, jumping into voice acting now. And, you know, I used to speak other languages, or I used to study other languages. I study 5: English, Japanese, Portuguese, French, and then Hmong. And yeah, my career is kind of different from most people's because I started younger. You know, like, I know people wait till adulthood or they wait until the right time to start chasing after their goals and dreams. But you have to actually go out and actually just start. Like, if you want to do something, just start it, you know? You don't really need me or somebody else to tell you what you can and can't do. Yes, sometimes you do have to wait a little bit, but it doesn't mean you can search up like how this works, how that works. You know, you can learn a lot by yourself to get yourself ready. And I know a lot of my viewers on this channel are relatively young, so I don't really know what kids do nowadays or teenagers do, but if you're a teenager or a young adult in their early 20s, my advice is to just start, because it is only going to get harder the longer you wait. The longer you wait, the more people will come into whatever you want to do, and the more saturated it becomes, the more competitive it will become. And when there's too much competition, you will struggle to grow. So you just need to start early or start as soon as you can. So I was actually smart enough to understand that as like a 12 to 13-year-old kid. So I started, like for example, dance instructing. When I started dancing, I was around 12, 13 years old. I started off as a street dancer. Then later on through the years, I became a street performer. Then later on through the years, I became a competitive dancer. And then later on throughout the years, I became a dance instructor. And that was within a span of about 12 years now. 12 years? And then let us talk about stage acting for another example. Stage acting was pure accident, but I started 9 years ago now. So just because of that, now, even though I'm 24, I have more experience than most people. So really, you just gotta start early, or start as soon as you can. I know that some people say wait till you're 18 to start acting, but you can just start acting whenever you want, honestly. You can just literally YouTube and Google how to start acting and just start. Like, yes, you won't have everything. For example, sometimes you might need some clothes to play a character. Like, expensive clothing. But don't worry about that. Just focus on what you can do and just build on it, you know? If you're skinny just made, you gotta eat more. Really. You gotta start bulking. Even even if you're doing a lot of exercising or training, if you're not eating enough, you're not gonna grow. Definitely consume more protein. That's my advice. And then go to the gym if you can. I don't really go to the gym anymore because I'm at that point in my life to where I really just focus on training at home, because at home where I am, I have a bench press, and I have it's just one pair of dumbbells, but it works, you know? And usually I just get creative with how I use them to get all of my workouts in. And I do got a pull-up bar that you can hang on your door and whatnot. I use that as well for my back and for calisthenics sometimes. But really though, if that's all I can say. Just eat more Just Made. But I don't know. It's strange that I'm telling a lot of you younger people this, for those who are young and their teens, whether you're in your early teens, late teens, or early 20s. I've always stated that starting early never hurts. There's nothing wrong with getting prepared. So get started, then just keep going. But thank goodness I was blessed to where I started young, and then over time the right people found me, and my career was pretty good. I would be lying if I said my career was perfect. It wasn't. There was a lot of hiccups and stuff on the road, but I did the best of what I could. And it's better that I am where I am now than just not ever doing it, There's nothing wrong with starting later, though. I don't if you're late into something, it's never too late to start, but you're going to have to play catch up. And catching up can either be the hardest thing in the world or the easiest thing in the world. It depends on the person. If you're the type of person that's consistent and is very hardworking, then I don't think it'll be a problem. But if you're somebody who's actually trying to do a full-time career with something and you started late, it may be a bit more of a challenge, but as long as you're passionate and as long as you want it more than anybody else, you should be fine. And it's crazy that I'm saying this, because I actually thought that this is something that everybody has, but with time on this channel and with time talking to a bunch of my viewers on stream, whether it's you for the first time, whoever's in the stream right now, or just people in general, it seems like there's a lack of self-confidence nowadays with a lot of the youth. It's very, I don't want to say it's nerve-wracking, but it's very strange. Very strange. Don't get it twisted. I did use a lot of that time to pursue the things I want to pursue, but I also, there is something. Okay, here's the thing that a lot of the young people don't understand. A lot of people are too focused on trying to do well on exams, trying to focus school, work life, or the part-time jobs after school. But when you're younger, you have a lot of free time. You just don't recognize it. It's crazy to say that now, but you have way more free time than you think. To everybody who's watching this, you just gotta learn how to use that spare time in a way to where it's productive. And luckily, I was in that boat. So, man, what a blessing, though. But it did kind of ruin my life in a way, though. I will not lie. I think I mentioned this in my last stream, but I will mention this here again. When I was actually pursuing my careers, quote unquote, as a young, up and coming teenager, I've neglected a lot of things. And one thing I truly kind of regret was neglecting friendship. Because I was a good friend, but there were times with my relationships was very rocky because I don't know, I keep telling myself that career first, relationships later. And this really would come to a head actually with a lot of my past relationships that I was in, of my exes actually. And I wish I understood at the time, but I didn't. That's why my relationships didn't work. Because like I was willing to make time for relationships and whether it's through my exes, my girlfriends at the time, quote unquote, or my friends, quote unquote, online. But I kept pushing them back because I don't know. I was too tempted, put it that way. I was very tempted by dreams, goals, and the future of what I wanted. And because of that, my friendships are kind of ruined. I would even go as far as to say that I can't really recover from it. Even if I did try to like make up for it, it's not going to fix up a lot of the time that was lost. But I don't know. I do think about it a lot actually. And it's also one of the reasons why I'm as lonely as I am now. Like, this is something... how do I explain the Japanese culture to you guys? Like, going out and drinking with your coworkers. You know how in anime or in TV shows, after like a hard day's work, you go out at night to a bar or somewhere to go drink? That's basically... like, you don't really drink with your friends, quote unquote. You drink with your coworkers, and that's kind of the situation that I'm in. Like, sometimes I mix up my coworkers and friends as friends, when in reality we're just like work buddies. We're not really like anything like crazy. Like, we're not like best friends or anything like that. We're just drinking as coworkers. But I do miss that friendship though. But one day I'll have that friendship again. My dating life now, I would say, is much more different from what it was back then, though. I'm not gonna lie, I really wish... I'm not really the type of person that will say, I want to go back and save this relationship. But I would go back and say that I wish I would have treated people better. Which is strange to say that. It's strange to say that because, like... I treated them well because I tried to make time whenever I could. But at the same time, I just really wish that as an adult, like, I could have told myself to be more, I don't want to say kind. I was too nice, by the way, but more free in terms of time. Tarbs, I think we're all been there, trying to maintain a friendship. Maintaining relationships with like friends, family, and things like that becomes harder with age. This is kind of the reason why getting into a relationship for me wasn't easy. Fawn. Konnichiwa. Genki desu ka? Are you good, Fawn? What do you think about people just... Honestly, I'm not too surprised because people do get motivated with like the things I say or things I do. And really, it's a great start, but you kind of had to figure it out on your own too, So, that's the thing that a lot of people should understand as well. Sometimes the people you meet can help you get started, but you kind of had to figure out your own journey as you go on with life. So, like, I see a lot of people who are trying to, like, do my 25 push-ups, but in a way to grow a YouTube channel instead. You know, that's not for me. Oops. That's not for me personally, but if you want to do it as a way to grow views or grow a channel, I'm not going to stop you by any means. You're actually free to do whatever you want with like the 25 push-ups. There's a guy, or there's a YouTuber, a small YouTuber who was trying to grow, and they found my 25 push-ups, and they decided to make a 30 push-ups a day and basically try to grow their YouTube channel. And I found that to be pretty interesting, honestly. It doesn't bother me one bit. You know, like, you're free to do what you want to do. It's not like, I did it for me, you know, but the content in itself and the idea is for everybody, you know. So, don't, like, like, I don't really bother, you know. I'm just too, I think I'm just too chill, you know. I do get comments as well saying that, like, you need to do this workout, that workout, I can do more than you, bro, or this is trash. I understand, but I don't really care at the same time as well. Like, I really don't. It doesn't really bother me as much, you know. Well, just mate, if you gotta go, you gotta go. Good night. I don't force anybody to watch my videos or my live streams or anything of the sort. I always say that, and I still will say that as well. Because, like, nobody is owed anything on this channel. I'm just a regular guy who's trying to make it in this world. And trying to get a girlfriend, currently. And get into voice acting. And maybe trying to start another business, their second business. But I am just a regular guy, like everybody else, you know? And I've always, it's strange. I don't know. It's strange for me to say this, but it feels like, I don't want to offend anybody when I say this, but it seems like the newer generation wants to find shortcuts. There's no shortcut to anything in life at this point. 12 a.m. in mines. Time zones are very interesting. But back to what I'm saying though. I never took shortcuts to the things I did. Like, I know people, like, I know that I'm a dance instructor, stage actor, you know, been training for so long, this for so long. But I put in the time. I did the work, you know, to get to where I am now. I didn't take shortcuts. And I feel bad because it seems like it's harder to make it nowadays. So everybody's trying to find the quickest way to get there. And there is no easy way. You kind of had to take the long way. Because it's just the way it works nowadays, I guess. You can't really fake it till you make it, because then you get exposed in front of everybody. But hey, if you want to take shortcuts, that's fine with you, but not with me though. I try not to take shortcuts, because then you kind of miss out on the lesson. Everything has a lesson to be learned from. So for me, I just don't take shortcuts. I'd rather take the long way and learn everything through and through than to take shortcuts and miss out on those lessons. But hey, so please understand that, everybody. And also, everybody keeps saying I'm talented. I don't want to say I'm talented. It's more so I just coincidentally happen to have a lot of talents. Wow. I contradicted myself, but please understand that, everybody. It's not for me to show off. I don't know how to say it, but except physical things, since physically and studying, I have some tips to remember and understand. Words and worlds. Do you call it shortcuts? It depends on the interpretation. That's all I can say. It depends on the interpretation and what you're doing it for. I wouldn't necessarily say all shortcuts are bad. Some shortcuts is understandable, but it really just depends at the end of the day. I'm not really the judge, jury, and executioner here. I'm just a guy who's just trying to live life and, you know, try to get through it all. But I'm not... I've been through a lot, man. That's crazy. It's strange. It's strange. As strange as it is to say, I just think that some people just needs to go outside more. I mean, you can learn basically everything on the internet, but there's just some. There is some. I don't know. There is something different about going outside into the real world and just talking with people, because you learn so much. And strangely, like, I don't know how to explain this. Not everybody you'll meet in your life will stay with you until the end of your days, but I believe that everybody you'll meet, like everybody in this world that you will eventually meet, will leave some sort of impression on you. They won't stay forever, but sometimes you'll meet them for a reason to put you somewhere or to guide you somewhere, you know? Whether it's past relationships that I was in, you know, friends I don't keep up with no more, people who have already passed on. I don't really care about the concept of the real world, though. I hate to break it to you, man, but people who said that I knew in person ended up miserable. Like, I don't want to be that guy, but if you don't care about the real world, your life is going to be extremely miserable. Because I remember in high school, there was people that was like this. You know, they think that the real world is bad. It doesn't care about them, or they just didn't bother with it. But as you grow older, you're going, no matter what, you're going to be forced in a situation to where you're going to have to grow up. Like you can't run from it. And every single person who's like, they don't care about the real world ended up miserable. I truly mean that. Like I genuinely feel bad for these people because I know these people. If you don't believe me, I think the best way to understand is to live life. Because sometimes a lesson is not taught through words, but through experience. Oh, man. I understand you're grateful for life, but you also need to understand that the real world is the real world. You can't run from it, you know? It's inevitable. I don't know what to say. But I really hope that you can get your stuff together. And also to those edgy kids, I actually made a post about this a year ago, I believe now. To where, like, some kids, like, a bunch of young teenagers were like, this world is cruel, they don't understand me, I'm different. Don't be like that, because I do not support people who think that they're different from everybody else. Like, nobody understands me. This is my life. I'm different from them. I'm alone in this world. Every single person that was like that in high school, or senior high school that is, ended up lonely, miserable, single, and, like, stressed out of their minds. Like, I don't know why is this channel that brings in some of these people sometimes, but I just want to get that out of the way. Oh no, you're fine, you're fine. It's The problem is that it seems like a lot of people are becoming more and more recluse nowadays. They're more shut in, you know? Don't get it twisted. I am an introvert. I don't like going out that much, if I'm being honest. But I also want people to understand that you do need to go out. What's your goals in life? Colin, I'm going to tell you this right now. And this is kind of funny. I've completed my careers already, if I'm being completely honest. The main I'm currently making a short film right now, a self-commentary short film discussing about my life leading up to this point. And basically, I'm going to end that short commentary film, I guess, discussing about my future goals. But essentially, though, my current goals are already complete. Huh. I don't actually... It depends on what type of introvert you are. Because there's a spectrum here of like your introvert levels. There are some introverts they're introverts, but they can talk to people just normally. And then there are the super introverts on like the far corner here who actually struggle to go outside. Like they're hikikomori essentially, you know? Not even otaku, hikikomori, basically shut in. So Colin, I don't really agree with that. But if that is you, you really just need to go outside. Like literally. That's not me personally. Because like, I grew up around people, I guess. Especially growing up chasing after my careers as a youngster. Because you have to remember, I was 13 learning dance lessons from people who were like almost twice my age. And also, at 16, I was doing stage acting. So I was already performing in front of people already. Even though the crowds were not big or anything, because I was an amateur stage actor, I was already, you know, talking to people and whatnot. But I am introvert at heart, though. Like, I don't mind talking to people, but I also do want to, like, just, okay, done, quick, okay, next, you know. But it's pretty surprising, though, how different, like, people are from me, or from you, you know? But man, it's a strange, it's a strange world, it's like, it's a strange world we're becoming. We're becoming so different from what society used to be. It's crazy. Like, nowadays, everybody thinks they're like the main anime protagonist, but I really don't care. And it's strange to say that too. I feel like these characters, I call them characters, but these people on the internet nowadays are becoming more common to where they think like there's some like MC protagonist from a TV show or anime, but in reality you're not. So, but now I'm changing for the sake of my goals. That's a great thing, Con. Changing takes time. Fawn, you're introverted as well. It's that simple. Like, your fuel burns out quickly. Definitely introverted. Fawn and Con, those two rhymes together. No, you just gotta learn how to talk to people. You know, I think this is strange to say this, but one thing that really helps if you're an introvert is to talk to more people of the opposite. You know, the opposite gender or sex. JT, totally. That is the social battery concept. I'm going to be the guy to say this, and I hope I don't hurt anybody's feelings. But Kai, I'm gonna call you Kai because I like that better. Kai-san, ohayo gozaimasu, or Kai-san, konbanwa. But here's Ambiverse, they're kind of hit or miss. But I do want to, I don't know. You know what's one thing I find kind of like the main problem of like people not talking much nowadays? I really think it's because they're not talking to people of the opposite, you know, the opposite sex or gender. You're 20 years old, any advice you give to this age? Yeah, Kai, here's my advice. Kai, hear me out. If you want to, since you're 20 years old, here's my advice. Start talking to more women. Because if not, once you hit your mid-20s, or as you approach your mid-20s like I am, you're going to struggle. Thankfully for me, when I was coming up, my dance instructors were all ladies. My co-stage actors were ladies as well. You know, I never surrounded myself with just guys. And I think this is a big problem that's becoming more prominent in today's time in society. It's like we don't want to communicate with the opposite sex or gender anymore. So my advice for everybody who's watching this is to start talking to more people of the opposite sex or gender. So if you're a girl and you're watching this, talk to more guys. If you're a guy, talk to more girls. You know? Because I promise you, if you're in your 20s and you've barely talked to women up to that point, or any girls up to that point, you're going to struggle a lot. Literally. And I'm not trying to say that you can't get anybody or like you can't communicate well. That's not what I'm trying to say. I'm just trying to help people understand how society works. You're going to meet a vast majority of people, men, women, she, they, them, alien, ghost, whatever. But the more people you talk to and the more people you get to know, the more you get better at communicating. Well, Kai, you'll figure it out. I promise you, you just gotta figure it out. But it is becoming more and more concerning, though, the lack of communication, not just between people, but between different races, ethnicities, genders, sex, whatever. Like, some people just really need to go out there, you know? I was lucky enough to where, like, from ages 13 to 21, like, I don't want to say a big social group, but I had enough, you know, to understand other cultures, other people, and things like that. That is also one of the reasons why I was able to study 5 languages. Because I was like it's just so surprising to me, honestly. And I genuinely feel bad how like people are becoming more and more lonely. Talking to people is not that hard. I think Omegle will help some. That's funny. You're funny. No, but I mean like talking in person. If, you know, I told my friend this a very long time ago. One of my Japanese friends. I told him that like if he can't make any friends, always just go to your local konbini and then go buy something and just talk to the cashier at the register. That is a great way to start, you know. It's just small talk, you know? Like, start off small, like go to the store, buy something, talk to your local cashier or your local vendor that you want to buy this and that, and just try to slowly build a conversation. Not like in a single day, but like over time, you know? As you start becoming more familiar with people. And then you'll start to understand that like, whoa, I can talk just like every other normal person, you know? That's the way I would advise people who are super introverted or have a hard time speaking. Just go to your local store, your vendor, your supermarket, buy something, and have a short talk. Like if you're going to the supermarket and you want to buy this fruit here, just talk about the fruit. You know, like how is this today? How's the produce? You know, and then like it's crazy. I promise you, there's a lot of people who cannot speak that well. I am an introvert here, but I am not closed off, if you understand what I'm saying. You just have to learn how to express yourself. Luckily, stage acting does help a lot when it comes to expressing myself, which is also one of the reasons why I'm not a dead silent introvert. That's an anime starter. You have to start somewhere, man. This thing, see, don't down-talk people for starting. They're just starting, you know? Like, when you're starting something, it's okay to make mistakes, and it's okay to just start slow. Because you're just starting. You know? Can't speak well like Komi, huh? Yeah. If you're like Komi can't communicate, then you gotta start somebody. Like, somewhere with somebody, you know? You can't always just be speaking to your parents or to a family relative. Because they're not always going to be around once you're an adult. You're going to be out in the world doing your own thing. But I will say this though, the best time to communicate is certainly during university or college. University and college is the best time to start jumping out into the world. That was basically one of the best times, actually. Why are your Instagram full of spiders? Kai, that's my spider business. I own my business, by the way. So if you're wondering why there's only spiders, it's because it's part of my branding for my business, by the way, for those who are wondering. I own my company, so I don't make a lot, but it's a good passive income, though. Like, literally, I just do what I love, and I make around $200 to $700 a month. Just selling spiders. But hey, it's a free passive income though. It's not a lot of money, but it's like it's easy money. Like I don't really have to do much because I love what I do and I'm an expert at it. So don't you have a personal Instagram profile? No, I do not. I do not. Sadly, I do not. I think the most personal social media platform I have is my Twitter, on X, I guess you will call it now. That's where I post. That's where I post more of my private, personal stuff, I guess. If not, then it'll be on Discord. But just for those who are wondering, though, my Instagram is more so for my is more so used for my Tarantula business that I own. But as I stated though, I am thinking about starting another business because I want to. I don't know what I will start though. I just need to find something I'm interested in and just start a business in it, and then just grow it to where it's big enough to where I like it, and then maybe just sell all of it. I don't know, or maybe just keep it. But I am trying to think of another business I want to start. Yeah, maybe someday, Kai. Maybe. But everybody just keeps asking though, like, how do I do this? How do I do that? Just do it. I don't know anything about this. That's fine. That's fine. You don't have to know. You don't have to know everything about me, but there's too much to know about me, you know? Like, I don't really want to tell everybody everything because there are some things that should stay personal, such as my dating life, for example. Like, even though I went on like 8 different dates over like the past 2 months, I'm still single, you know? So like, there are some things that I keep personal to myself that I'd rather not talk about on the internet because I'm just like that. And then there are times where I'm just like, yeah, I don't really care. I'm just going to talk about myself. So it really just depends on how I'm feeling, I guess. But please understand, though, everybody, I'm just a regular guy like everybody else. Except I do more than others, I guess. I don't know. Well, I'm a video and photo editor, graphics designer, and more things I'm into. But I can only monetize one thing. You can monetize anything. Kai, this is like the thing you need to understand. If you're good at something, don't do it for free. Unless you have a good heart like I do. But I believe that anything can make money. Anything. You just gotta know how to market it. So, like literally, people thought that selling spars was a waste of time. But for me, nope, not at all. Well, what you share is what people would know, the opposite of what you don't. So I'm okay with that. Fair enough. How do you approach dating? I love this question. Hold up. Okay, Kafka, this is probably one of my favorite questions I gotten today. So, dating apps or organic, I do both. But the reason why I haven't truly... Okay, I don't know how much I should say about this. I haven't really truly settled down on a woman yet is because... This is funny to say this, but I'm not looking for a woman with looks. That's the secret. I'm looking for a woman that's compatible with me. So, like, you have to understand, when you're dating a partner, you're like a potential life partner for the rest of your life. I'm looking for somebody to grow old with, you know? Somebody I can be with for the rest of my life. I'm not looking for somebody who's just like good looking. Even though I am a good looking person when I want to be. That's kind of one of the downsides actually about me, is that like I dress like okay, if you ever been to Korea or Japan, do you see how they dress like? Their clothing is very, very aesthetically clean. That's their Western fashion. And that's how I dress like when I'm outside. So, like, it kind of intimidates a lot of my dating partners, I guess, quote unquote. But really, I don't want them to get intimidated though. I just want them to accept me for who I am. So that's why I'm still single and why I'm looking for my partner. I'm not looking for a good looking woman. It just drives me it drives me nuts. Come on, like everybody's like, "Suge, kirei da ne." Like, it's beautiful, isn't it? Or utsukushi. I'm like, no. Kitanai. I mean, like, dirty, no. But yeah, though, I'm willing to give anybody a chance when it comes to dating, though, Kafka. Please understand that. As long as you're 18 or older, and as long as you have some sort of interest in anime like me, then I'll give you a chance. Like, or whoever, or whatever woman a chance. I don't go for looks. It's just... Come on, it's like... Yeah. Nope. Just not for me. Compatibility is the most important thing for a strong relationship. Yes. That's why I'm looking for my partner right now. What do you think about the goods and bads when you study abroad in Japan? My cousin lives... Okay, here's the thing. I'm going to answer this question real easily for you. I've answered this question so many times already about studying abroad in Japan. If you're just studying abroad in Japan, there's really nothing bad about it. It's only when you live in Japan where it can become quite a hassle. Because Japan right now is experiencing a lot of a culture shift due to so many foreigners coming into Japan and trying to live there. So, like, Okay, my cousin lives in Japan, and even he notices that like there's more and more foreigners living in Japan now than there ever has been. And with Japan's declining population, I don't think a lot of people are not very much welcomed as they used to be, put it that way. I don't want to say it's racism or discrimination, but please be respectful towards Japanese people. That's all I gotta say. But studying it abroad in Japan is not the problem because you're not living there. If you are living there, it's only temporarily, you know? But if you're trying to live in Japan, good luck. Living in Japan is an absolute nightmare. You will hate your life. Do you date men asking for a friend? Kate, here's a funny thing. Okay, hold up. My webcam is not focusing. There it goes. So, Kate, I'm going to tell you a funny story. A few years ago, I went on a date with a guy. I'm straight, by the way, so don't get it twisted. But the reason why I went on a date with a guy is because one, he was my friend, and two, he had the biggest crush on me. And like I'm straight, by the way. I'm not really into men, by the way. But the reason why I accepted his date was because he went all out. And that was the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. Like, you know how in an anime, when somebody confesses, that was basically what he did. And I gotta give him you gotta give a guy effort or give a person effort for trying. Like for me, effort is the thing I love. If somebody like puts in the effort to do something for me, my heart jumps 1,000. It jumps 1,000 paces. So I went on a date with a guy, and it was pretty fun, honestly. For me, it was more like a bro hangout, but for him, he was just in love. So that's kind of a funny story, Kate. But do I date men? No, I would not. However, if a guy goes all out though, like how he did, maybe. Why not, you know? Vaughn, you just kind of had to go there and just kind of figure out, you know, on your own. But Kate, though, that was... Do you date men? I do not date men, but I don't mind hanging out with a guy every now and then, I guess. Put it that way. Now, funny thing though, Kate, that guy did actually stole a kiss from me. I smacked him. I really just beat him up for that, actually. He was a bit too forceful now. But overall, though, really nice guy, though. But that was... But Kate, I do want to give a disclaimer though. That was the only time I actually went all out on looks though. Like I went in with the most beautiful hairstyle ever, man. It was just crazy. I had my foundation on, I have a little bit of eyeliner on. I look like an actual anime character. It was really nice. I don't mind doing that again. Not the boys love plot, lol. JT, that was basically what the date was, a boys love plot. Like, I literally got Kabuto Shinji Ikari moment. I guess you could put it that way. Yes. I could tell you more about that date. It was very nice of him, though. That was like man, that's strange. When a guy actually puts in the effort. So I went the extra effort too. Just to match his effort. I don't usually put on my makeup or style my hair whenever I go out on dates. Usually I just dress well. But in his case, since he went the extra mile to actually put I don't know how he did it. He expressed a million words so beautifully. I just couldn't say no. So I told him, Okay, deal. Yeah, I'll go on a date with you, but I'm going all out too, just to match your effortness. So I went out fresh. Like, my hairstyle, I had a perm on, I had my piercings on. It was very nice. Very, very nice. Evangelion, I'm not a big fan of. I've been watched Evangelion 1.0, 2.0, 3.0. Still not a big fan of Evangelion. It's not a bad series, but I think it's kind of overrated though. But that's a story for another day for dating though. But one day though, I will find that partner though. I am still looking for my soulmate though, guys. So maybe someday. And by the way, for those who are wondering, I do have a makeup kit up here. I always put it up here. You just don't see it. On one of my old live streams, I actually did show my makeup kit and everything. About what I wear for stage acting. What I wear whenever I go out. And things like that. People find it strange, but I'm going to tell you this right now. A lot of Japanese guys and a lot of Korean guys, they do wear makeup to some extent. Whether it's light foundation or something. It's strange for me to say that, but like, weird. How people just don't know that. Welcome to Asian, Japanese, Korean culture. How wholesome, gruesome, depressing. That's funny. Yeah, that sounds about right. If you're wondering, okay, I've already answered this so many times. My favorite anime of all time is Steins Gate. I think Steins Gate is what I consider to be a perfect... I don't want to say perfect, but story-wise is a perfect story anime. Oh, excuse myself. Yeah, you can't change my mind on that. I've been watching anime for 16 years now, so really, honestly, like, anime at this point, nothing is new to me. Dragon Ball is cool. AOT is cool. Yeah. Those are pretty cool animes. If it's an anime, I've already... Most likely, if you watched an anime, I've already seen it. Huh. Yeah, Steins Gate is pretty cool, though. I love Steins Gate a lot. It's one that aged better with time. Put it that way. Steins Gate is not my favorite visual novel, by the way, but it is my favorite anime. Visual novels probably. Okay, so for those who don't know, Steins Gate the anime is actually adapted from the visual novel. So, like, I know there's a manga for Steins Gate, but the anime is not adapted from the manga. It's adapted from the visual novel. So I really recommend people to go actually play the visual novel, but I don't think people will. But despite Steins Gate being my favorite quote-unquote anime of all time, my favorite visual novel, though, is probably without a doubt... I'll talk about that someday, I'll tell you. Solo leveling's pretty cool. Sakamoto Days. I love Sakamoto Days. It's such a fun watch for Sakamoto Days. I don't hate solo leveling, but I'm not gonna lie, the manhwa does fall down a little bit. And it's really just because like it tries too hard at some point. Don't hate the MC at all. So don't take it that way. Sakamoto Days is so good, my childhood. Definitely. I don't know why, but Sakamoto Days, Spy Family, I miss shows like that because it feels like your typical, like it gives me the vibe of like your typical Saturday morning anime, you know? I really love that. I love those animes, you know? So Sakamoto Days to me and Spy Family and those type of series, those are the ones I like a lot because it's fun, enjoyable, and you can just sit back and relax and not take it seriously, you know? Berserk, yeah, okay. Kai, I'm gonna tell you this. When it comes to the top 3 best mangas of all time for me, it's the 3. Vagabond, which will never get an anime adaptation without a doubt, Berserk, and then Vinland Saga. These 3 mangas are like the masterpieces of the 3. And then I'll definitely put JoJo Part 7 up there as well. Because JoJo Part 7 is freaking awesome. And you're a 20s born single, don't recommend anyone. Oh, yeah. I'm gonna say this right now. I think Goodnight's Pun Pun Kai or Oyasumi Pun Pun is actually, I think it's overrated. And not to mention, I think is, I hate to say this, but to me, it has aged pretty badly with time. Like, I know that it's like an up-and-coming type of manga and whatnot, but it's just, I think the best way to describe Goodnight Pun Pun is that it's depressing. But it's not like a, people say, okay, here's the thing. There's a difference between a coming of age story and a depressing story. Yes, towards the end of it, it does become slightly more uplifting and more of a, I don't know, like an uplifting series to an extent, but I just find Goodnight Pun Pun to be depressing. Like, I don't really see it as a coming of age story. I don't hate it, but like, I just don't get it, you know? Because you have to remember about Oyasumi Pun Pun, or Goodnight Pun Pun, by the way, for those who are wondering. Because Asano, because look, the creator of Goodnight Pun Pun is Asano, right? The reason why he written Goodnight Pun Pun was because he was very frustrated with his life at the time, because his mangas that he was creating wasn't sticking, and he was just basically struggling. So essentially, he just put his frustrations and depression into making a series called Goodnight Pun Pun. And that's how it was basically made. So it's just kind of confusing to me personally, because it is more so of the way I like the story itself. If you just look at it from like a story perspective, just Goodnight Pun Pun as a story, you will say it's pretty deep. But when you look at the overall picture, such as the mangaka, aka the author behind it, and what he was going through, it was more of a frustrational, depressional phase, if you understand what I'm saying. So its impact isn't as strong as what most people will think, especially with time. Because I've read Goodnight Pun Pun 4 times. Literally. I read this story 4 times for you guys. Because I read it in I read the story in 2014. I reread it again, reread it again in 2016. I read it again in 2019, and then I read it again in 2021 when those essay videos about it was you know, making it spike up again in popularity. It's aged a little better, but it hasn't aged that well. Hello there, Marco. We're just talking about depressing mangas right now. So I want people to understand. I think what truly makes a really good coming of age story is one that gets better as you age as well. Because you start to pick up the messages much more and it becomes better. I think one great example, okay, this is not a depressing series by any means, but I think is one great series of a coming of age story in a way, to an extent, is like Fruits Baskets, for example. I know Fruits Baskets is a melodrama, quote unquote. But like, seriously though, I like the characters, you start to understand them better. Sorry, Marco, the time difference thing. It's currently 1 a.m. in the morning here where I am, but I just got back from work, so I'm just making this late stream. Yeah, it's crazy. I know. But What's happening with the background? Oh no, I'm. So this cardboard background is what I use just to insulate the sound. So that way the sound doesn't bounce everywhere whenever I'm on live stream at night, because I don't want people around me to hear. So I actually do use this for voice acting as well, because I was supposed to put on some styrofoam covers here to cover that, so that way it can insulate more of the noise whenever I'm doing voice acting. So I hope that explains it. It's really just for noise wise, and maybe light. Ooh, and maybe light as well, Marco, but nothing crazy. Wow, Kate, it's 6 a.m. over there, huh? That's crazy. 11 a.m. here. Wow. The time zones. A lot of people are either in the Asian countries, Europe, or India, and I'm here in America. But really, though, I know a lot. You know what? I'm actually gonna... There's actually a series I do want to talk about, but I already talked about it before. But maybe someday, though, I'll make a YouTube video about it. But I am going to be making more anime YouTube videos again, though. Starting off with the 4K sub special of hentai. 7 a.m. here. Oh yeah, Marco. 7 a.m. where you are. But I will keep that promise, though, Marco, and to everybody who's watching this. At 4K subs, I will do the hentai live stream, and I'll post a hentai video discussing about a hentai series that I like, or a hentai series. It just I don't know, a short story, I guess, of a hentai series I like. I thought you were in Japan. ごめんなさい。僕は日本人じゃない。すみません。I am not Japanese. I am American. はい、僕の名前は赤色マイルズローです。よろしくお願いします。すみません。僕の日本語は上手じゃない。what should I say? I don't want to sound stupid speaking Japanese. Ooh. I want to say something so cringe at times. Like, God almighty. Depressing manga or anime. I don't really like talking about depressing anime mangas or series, because like, it's not because they're depressing or sad. Okay, this is a hot take, but some of you may agree with this with me. I think older series of anime are more depressing and sad than the newer ones today. Because I always think of Air, Clanhead, Anohana, The Flower We Saw That Day, and like Angel Beats and things like that. And these series came out over 15 years ago, by the way. Like over 10 years ago at this point now. So it's probably just me who thinks that, but like I really do think that when it comes to depressing manga, animes, or anything of that series, is usually the older ones that are more sad and depressing. Oh, ego wa jozu janai. Oh, yeah. My ego is jozu desu. No, my English is pretty bad. Like, my English is very tongue-twisted, put it that way. Like, it's not great. My English is good, but no, my English is fluent, but it's better than my Japanese. Haha. Someday, everybody. But I will actually do... Okay, okay, here's the thing. Tales of Melody and Memory. I love the opening. The opening to the opening is so good to Tales of Melody and Memory, Marco. But when it comes to the anime, I feel like it's a show with sad moments, but I wouldn't say it's a sad series. I don't know. Maybe it's because the ending is very... I don't want to say the ending is sad. It's more of like uplifting. And I guess that kind of... and it works in a good way. But I wouldn't say it's depressing, though. It's more of like understandably sad, you know? Like, for example, I think Planet is depressingly sad. It's depressing and sad. Air is sad, you know? Especially the visual novels. Old boy. Yeah, Requiem for Dream, Berserk Fate. Okay, some of those I would not say depressing. Those are more, some of those are, I don't really agree with Kai. But you have to understand though, like, if we're just talking about sad and depressing series, we're kind of targeting what Marco's targeting here. Like, just pure sadness on the genre by itself, you know? Like, no action sadness, no action drama, or no action or whatever. It's just, like, sad and depressing as, like, the main categories for, like, you know, the genres here. That's kind of what we're targeting. Tales of Melody and Tales of Memory, those are sad, but like I don't really they don't hit me the same sad as what you would see in Air or Clannad. But then again, all of those series that we're talking about here came out before 2010. So, or like sometime a little bit after 2010, you know? Okay, now we're talking. So, Kai, I Want to Eat Your Pancreas is written by Yoru Sumino. Yoru Sumino is actually one of my favorite writers of all time. Period. One of my favorite light novels and one of my favorite coming-of-age stories of all time is written by Yoru Sumino, the same writer as I Want to Eat Your Pancreas. She writes some incredible works. And without a doubt, my favorite works of hers that she has made is I Had the Same Dream Again. I had the same dream again. I think that's what the light novel is called. I talked about it here on the channel before already, on a previous stream. One of my favorite coming-of-age stories, light novels of all time. The manga is good, but the light novel is god tier. Just saying. So, like, if you're like a teenager coming of age, or if you're like a teenager or in your early 20s, really recommend reading that. I Had the Same Dream Again by Yoru Sumino. Chef's Kiss, amazing. I recommend it. Kumo Sensei approved, by the way. Game of Thrones I dropped. Breaking Bad I've already watched. Daredevil I watch here and there. Because let's be honest, nobody watches Game of Thrones after season 8. But House of Dragon is pretty good though. Do you want to make your own light novel? No, I do not. I don't want to make a light novel, but I do want to write stories for stage productions. So at some point, I really do want to write my own stage production. And, you know, so I never told anybody this, but I've actually had like outliers or outlines for scripts and stuff that I want to create for like a cheap stage acting set piece. Because, like, I don't know, I really like stories. So this is basically one of the ideas I had a very long time ago. This is about 5 years ago now. So like around 2019, this is before the pandemic. One of my ideas is that I made an outline story about this might not make sense, but in like a manga format, it might work. So like I've written a story essentially about events taking place of a kid's playground bench. So imagine like a playground in Tokyo, and there's like a bench, and there are just people talking. Like every chapter is like two different people interacting for the first time, and over time they start to understand one another, and there's some emotional beats here and there as well. And that was basically my first outline of like a story. So I don't want to actually make a light novel, but I do want to create my own stage production at some point, you know. Kobato is okay, but they rushed the ending. I guess, Marco, it really depends on what you mean by, well, actually, fair enough, rushed ending. But you have to understand that, Marco, like let's be honest, anime adaptations is hit or miss. Even back then, it was much worse, but like, even now, it's kind of hit or miss when it comes to anime adaptations. Even like at this point, we just kind of had to take it for what it is. Sorry, Marco. I mean, I don't know what more to say. But like, that is my story, though. So one day it might actually become a stage production, though. I don't know what I called it, or I forgot the title of what I will call it, but that is essentially what I want to write. A story about people talking to each other at a children's playground bench. The way I imagine it is this. It's Tokyo, Japan, and there's a children's playground in the city of Tokyo. And there lies a bench just for two people to start meeting up and talking. And basically, with each chapter, two different people, two different age groups, from two completely different lifestyles meet and sit beside one another and just talk about their lives. And trust me, the idea sounds ludicrous, but I love the idea. I came up with that myself. The reason why I can't do a big stage production is because if I do too many different settings, for example, if like the first setting takes place in a school, and then later on it takes place in somebody's home, then it takes place at like somebody's other, if there's too many places in a stage production, the set cost, like the cost of like setting up all the props and making like different backgrounds and things like that will be too expensive. So I want to be able to make that stage production. So that's the reason why I decided to make a stage play production to where everything happens in one setting, just one spot for the rest of the entire play. But it will take place at different time period, like different times. Like two people might meet up at night. One individual is a runaway. She's running away from home. And then the other person might be like a woman coming back from work, She just needs a place to chill. And they both meet at the bench and they basically discuss about their lives and how they're similar. It is such a great concept. I know that a lot of people don't see it, but I see the vision in it. And then like the next episode, and then like the next chapter of my stage play of that same setting will be like late in the afternoon, and it will be an elderly woman and like a young little kid playing at the playground, just sitting beside, just trying to understand this old lady here, this Obasan here. And basically she passes down some life lesson or something. Like I'm pretty good because I know what stage productions are. I know what good stories are. I just need somebody to write it because I just have outlines. I don't have actual scripts written, Monogatari Sensei. Man, you always Marco, my man, was always Monogatari. But for real though, like I want everyone to understand. At some point in my life, I do want to write a stage production. Literally. If not, then maybe I'll like to post like an outline, and then somebody makes a manga, a web novel, or something out of it, But that is my idea, though. That was one of the few outlines I made. It doesn't have a title, but it's a cheap production, but it has like, oh, you see, I have all these great stories inside of me, but like expressing it isn't easy, There's like a million ideas, but you can only talk about one at a time, But that is one of my future goals, though. I will actually write a stage play about it at some point, maybe. But I only got the outlines, though. I don't have... So there's a difference between an outline and a script. An outline is essentially like base ideas of what you want to do and what the story is going to be about. A script is when somebody fully has written out the lines, the setting, basically the plot and everything. I am not a writer. like I am not a writer. I'm only a guy who can come up with ideas and concepts, but I will actually make that story someday though. Like actually make a short stage production. And I hope that I get to play as one of the characters. I know exactly which character well, I don't know exactly which character I want to play in, but I do want to play a character if I do make this quote unquote stage production. But I don't know how I will stretch it though. It'll probably have to be a short series, maybe around like a 30 minutes long total of a stage play. So very short. I can't make it for, like very long. But I want to make it impactful, you know? Like people think that a good stage play or a good anime or anything of a good story needs to have like strong plots. But sometimes what it really needs is just a strong characters or like something subtle. And that's really what I'm trying to target here. Not a strong, impactful story, but understanding the subtlety of people and lives. I had written the outline 2 years ago, but doesn't do anything after that. I'm going to tell you here's my advice. And I've always written, and I always recommend this to anyone who has written something or for people who are coming into writing, producing, or whatever. This does not apply to just stage plays, but to everything in general. If you're going to create an outline, or if you're going to create something, always make sure you have the ending plan. If the ending is bad, it might actually kill your entire story. Like, literally. So really, you better think the ending out. Because some people say it's about the journey, not the destination. That is true. But if the destination was that important and you slept on it, it's over. Like, you have to understand that. So that's why when I written my outline, I written the ending first, and then I work towards the beginning. And that's how I do all of my outlines actually. I start with the ending first, and then I just go backwards. So that way, we know that the ending is at least decent, if not, it isn't bad. Really, it doesn't matter how good the beginning is. It's really the ending that will like really determine how it goes. But that is my writing. And it's like what Marco said, Monogatari Sensei. I'm not as good as when it comes to writing, the creator of Monogatari, I'm not as good as his works. His works is just way too sophisticated, quote unquote. I'm just a guy who just likes creating stuff, you know? And really, you have to understand, I do things as a form of expression in a way. So as long as basically if I can express myself, then it's fine. I say my story ain't even have a twist, but maybe some people don't like it, but I think it's very different than any other. Hey, go for it. I'm not stopping you. If you believe in something and people are doubting it, then just keep going. D Goldfish, that is a killer username, by the way. D Goldfish. I love that username a lot. That's a cool user, by the way. Yeah, it doesn't hurt to say hi before sleeping. You don't have to actually stay on my live streams, by the way. I don't force anybody to stay on my live streams. If you gotta go, you gotta go. And by the way, this cardboard here is really just to soundproof the thing, since it's late at night. I don't want everybody to be hearing me. Yeah, man, no problem. I like cool usernames every now and then. But really though, everybody, I think it's too soon right now to actually write my story. But I'd say in the next maybe 5 years or so, I will write it. Just not now. I think it's too soon for that. Because I'm just fresh off from stepping back from stage acting. Yeah, good night, Goldfish. But I am working on I am currently working on that hentai. Okay, I am working on that 4K subspecial video. But I am kind of worried I'm worried that it might get copyrighted. So I'm just gonna wait and see how it goes. The live stream for it, I will talk about that as well in the future once we hit 4K. That is, we're getting kind of close. I believe so. And also, since I have a bit more free time, I am trying to wrap up my my short commentary film because I really want to discuss about who I am as a person and basically why I do things such as my careers and things like that. And I also want to to talk about why I'm putting it to where it is now. How is that work? Depressing. That's the best way to put it, Marco. Like, work is eating up a lot of time, but not a lot of time to what you would think. Because, like I stated, I'm basically stepping back from stage acting. I'm doing a soft retirement. I'm not quitting stage acting, but I'm stepping back from it now. And because of that, I have a bit more free time now to where I'm gonna try to make actual anime essay videos, short anime essay videos, as I stated before. And my Tarantula work is busy, but I'm slowly getting it done. And I'm also starting to date again. You did miss out, Marcos. I will recap on this. I have went on a few dates already. But I haven't found the one yet. So I'm still looking for my soulmate. It's not easy, but that's not. I remember to thing. Maybe more. I don't know why I did. Maybe he used to do different stuff. But I wanted a series of pushes, which makes stay. They go to sleep. Wait for the weekend stream. I will. I'm going to stream. You know, I'm going to stream on the weekends as well. But I really just want to talk to everybody today because I just got off work, even though I'm exhausted. Like I stated, to recap everything for those who've just gotten in or for those who missed out, I stepped back from stage acting because I just can't do it no more. So stage acting is officially a soft retirement. And then for my personal life, I'm trying to find my soulmate. So I've went on a few dates already with different people, but I'm looking for the one that chooses me. So, well, this is something I'm still looking for. Like I stated, I don't know who my future partner is, but I'm waiting for them though. Let's hope I can find them, right? And then as for my work has been busy, but just trying to make things work, And I'm also thinking about starting another business, which is strange to say that. I know I own my Tarantula business, but I really want to start a new book in my life, So I'm trying to find a business idea that I like or something I'm passionate about and start a business on that. So within the next 2 to 3 months, I'm going to start saving money again, and then hopefully I can invest it into a business that I want to start. So that way I can start my second business. I don't know what my second business will be or what it is, but I just want to start another business, So that's currently where I'm at right now. And I do plan on going back to therapy because I need it. So I'll be going back to therapy in about 2 weeks to a month. I'll be going back to therapy. It's personal, but I just need to get myself together. Because, trauma hurts in a bad way. In a frustrating way too, to be honest. But I just need to go back, honestly. I don't know how many sessions I will attend. Maybe just one, if it's all I need. But if I need more, I might attend a couple to a few. I don't want to say my mental health has been declining, but to be honest, it's been all over the place. Like, at times I just can't get it together as I used to. And it doesn't help because, like, trauma keeps hitting. It just keeps coming back. Like, I don't know how to... I think the best way to describe trauma to those people who never had it is that the pain doesn't go away. It just becomes manageable at times. So, like, it's annoying because it's starting to personally... This is funny. And I don't know how much I should say, but when it comes to... Okay, so when it comes to spider work, dance instructing, and training, these 3 careers of mine, or talents of mine that I have, are all actually tied down by my trauma. But it's not because of like a... That's deep. No, I'm not trying to make it deep. I'm just trying to be transparent here, you know? I don't like making myself a victim here, but just put it simply, I made a promise a very long time ago. Like a very, very long time ago. I made a promise. And I've kept that promise. It's done. It's fulfilled. I became a dance instructor, so I have nothing to prove for dancing anymore. And I promised I will train, work out, and diet. But like I don't have anything physically to prove anymore, you know? And I ran 2 marathons, by the way. And then like my spider work, I made a promise about, you know, loving animals. I don't have anything to prove anymore when it comes to loving tarantulas and stuff, or animals, because I've already started my business that revolves around animals. So like my trauma keeps haunting me because like I have nothing left to prove. But it was also one of the reasons why I kept going. It's because I made that freaking promise. I don't know how to explain it. Maybe I'll explain it in my commentary film. I don't know what I'll call it. Maybe I should call it Kumo Sensei Chapter 1. Anime take away a lot of time. Yes, it does. Anime does take away a lot of time. But it's different now, but it's just a headache to deal with, everybody. But yeah, though, everybody, it is getting kind of late, so I guess I'll be going now, everybody. But I will be streaming again this weekend, I think. Either Friday. No, I think I'll be streaming again on Saturday, actually. But yeah, without further ado, everybody, thanks for watching. And I'm still looking for a girlfriend. I'm still trying to get my life together. I'm trying to actually start a new beginning, by the way. And well, I guess that's really about it. So I'll see you on Saturday, baby. Peace.